Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of the CW's The 100, The Sufi Scene, Season 3, Episode 15, which was called Perverse Instantiation, Part 1. And, of course, this is the penultimate episode to Season 3 with the finale airing next week. And this is a pretty damn crazy episode. One that really got me excited for the finale next week, and one where when the credits hit, when you see it to be continued on the screen, it really makes you say, oh, come on. I was right then hoping that we'd just see them back to back. That would have been nice. But there was a lot to take in this episode, so if they did air them back to back, I'd probably have, at least 4 or 5 pages worth of notes. And I already have about 2.5 here, or I mean like 1.5 here, I should say, but still. Really good episode overall, and one that definitely gets me excited for the finale next week, asking a lot of questions, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing how it goes. Let's see. Of course, the big part of this episode revolved around, of course, Clarke, Bellamy, and the others trying to get into the capital, and basically they had the idea they could put the flame in Antari, who, of course, was the grounder leader that forcibly took over after Alexa died, but now she's under control by the A.I. or A.L.I.E. Clarke seems to be in a very bad place, or like place of almost near hopelessness, but then she's just really bent on finding someone with the Nightblood. They're really desperate to find a plan. And really, what the group's trying to do, it's just getting more and more desperate. You get that feeling that the walls are closing in, they're running out of options, maybe even fewer than before. So I really like that feel that we got in this episode. Clarke is about to be attacked or shot at by one of A.L.I.E.'s people, and then Roan actually shows up and saves her. He shoots her with, not her, but he shoots the guy who's about to kill her with the arrow. About to capture her anyway, because A.L.I.E. likely still needs her, which is a pretty cool moment. Again, it's good to see more of a Zach McGowan on the show. He tries to take the flame, or the little thing with Alexa and the other spirits of the commanders inside, or whatever you want to do, or whatever you want to call it. Of course, he ends up being held up by Bellamy and the others, and they end up making this deal, like I said, to put the flame in Antari, and they plan to get her into the middle of the city and capital. At first I was thinking that was a really bad plan, considering we all know that A.L.I.E. has taken over the capital since then, and pretty much everyone there is under her influence. But I guess apparently the characters weren't aware of that, because they basically walk into a trap, which made for a really intense and exciting episode. Let's see what else. Roan ends up, taking Clarke in as his prisoner to try and get as close to everyone as possible. Of course, Bellamy questions this, with Clarke being at risk and basically being in the hands of, the Ice Nation leader, someone they should not trust at all. And we get a little, touching, a little bit of a sweet moment with Clarke saying, I trust you, and then he can kind of see Bellamy crack a little bit, and it's kind of nice. We all know what most of us hope that is building towards, but we've talked about that before. And then we got the sense since the last episode that someone, either Jasper, Raven, Monty, or Harper was under A.L.I.E.'s control. I was thinking it was Harper last week with the way she just sort of came on to Monty, but it turns out it's actually Jasper who is under the influence, and he apologizes to Monty for the way he's been behaving and how everything is affecting him with Maya and stuff like that, but then he ends up again being influenced. He had been shipped, and he stabs and chases after Monty. And I seen someone post this earlier. It's kind of funny. Basically got a here's Jasper scenario with him, on the other side of the door, and Monty and Raven on the other side. I was waiting for him to try to break in with an axe or something and stick his head in. that was pretty intense, have a character like Jasper under that influence as well. Him and Kane are probably the biggest ones they have on their side now. Along with Jaha, but he hasn't been as integral to the group since season 1, really. Let's see what else. And, that's when we found out that the group was walking into a trap. Or, we knew it, but that's when we got more of the emphasis on it, and we got that feeling of, oh, shit. Jaha comes out, and Roan and Clarke are surrounded. At first, Roan tries to, get further into it, by putting Clarke's life on the line, because they need her, because she knows she's supposedly the only one that knows the passphrase for the flame. And so Roan sort of holds a knife to her throat, and he just ends up being shot by Kane. And again, it's still frustrating and, I'll say bad to see Kane under the influence of A.L.I.E. But he's, like I said, definitely one of the more, he's one of the stronger people to have on her side for sure, along with what they have with Jasper now. Let's see, Roan is shot. And I'm not sure if he was dead there or not, because we've seen him moving around a little bit, so I feel like he's probably still alive, so we'll probably see him to some extent in the finale, I'm guessing. It would be kind of anticlimactic if, they had Zach McGowan's character just get killed like that, but again, he's not like a huge character either, even if he is the king of the Ice Nation, but still, I think he's going to have a different death than that. Or maybe he will go into season 4, we'll see. I was actually happy it looked like he could still be alive, because his character is getting just a bit more interesting in this episode, but we'll see. Jasper's still under the influence. He does, sort of talk about why he took the chip. He talks about being at Luna's, the oil rig, and meeting Shay, and sort of getting that sense that they destroy everything, and he wants that sense of peace again, and it made him think of Maya. It's the first time Maya's off his mind, because he finally found this type of thing, and he finally had that type of feeling, and it was all taken away, and they ruined it again. So he just took the chip because of that, and that was probably partially true, but of course it's also because of A.L.I.E.'s influence, of course. But I still feel like part of Jasper's mind is still within what he's saying anyway, at least to an extent. Let's see. And then, of course, we have Clarke taken in, and what was one more, maybe not twisted, but still sort of personal scenes of it, was, of course, Abby being still under the influence, so she's actually the one that tortures Clarke, to try and get the passphrase from her. She says, I'm not letting them do this, I'm doing it, which is pretty gold, especially coming from her mother. And we get a couple moments of basically, I think she had like a scalpel or something, but she basically stabbed it into Clarke a couple times, like slowly. And they actually showed most of it, Not too much blood, but it still looked, pretty painful. So, I did cringe a little bit. Probably just because of the characters involved, though. I don't like seeing Clarke tortured. But still felt like a very personal scene if it wasn't Abby in her right mind. And then, of course, A.L.I.E.'s smart enough to realize that Clarke's not going to break, that they need to bring in one of her friends to threaten her with, so they, of course, try to bring in Bellamy at first, because, everyone's aware that, he's probably the closest to her heart at this point. And what was one of the coolest moments of the episode is when Murphy, Pike, and Indra show up and save Bellamy before he's taken in, which is pretty cool. And it was really cool, especially because of the whole Murphy and Bellamy relationship. I said Murphy earlier too, didn't I? I didn't say Monty. But anyway, Murphy, it made it interesting because Murphy and Bellamy's relationship, it's been very rocky ever since a few episodes into season 1. So it's kind of good to see their parallels and sort of them just meeting up again. You can tell the communication just when they look at each other, there's just so much behind both of them. So I really like that part of it. And of course, Murphy says later on, you're not the only one trying to save someone you care about. Of course, he's referring to the girl he had met on the road and spent some time with. I always forget her name for some reason. And of course, with Octavia is also along with him. And again, I was ready to be annoyed by Octavia because she's just looking at Pike and just you can tell she's ready to jump him and kill him. And I don't blame her, but at the same time, I know she's gonna try something and screw up the plan again, right? But she actually didn't. Ender was kind of able to focus her. Of course, back with what Raven and Monty are trying to do. Monty is worried about Harper being out there, not knowing Jasper's under control, and just when he's about to tell Harper, Jasper takes her out and basically threatens to kill her unless they destroy the machine or what they're trying to do in there to bring A.L.I.E down. Which again is a pretty intense standoff. And then again, what was one more sort of twisted, personal, and darker scenes was when Abby, of course, under the influence, not drunk or anything, but you know what I mean. Oh, I'm weird. Anyway, Abby, is basically forced to hang herself to try and get the passphrase from Clarke, and I was thinking Clarke might actually say it at the last second, but a testament to how strong of a person Clarke actually is. And great acting from Eliza Taylor in this scene as well. She actually holds in, and she actually doesn't give in. Even when her mom is about to die, she holds it in for the greater good, for the bigger picture of it all, and she doesn't say it. And I actually thought Abby could have died here. I think she probably should have realistically, although it's not like she dropped off from a few feet or something, so she was slowly being choked to death and stuff. But I think it would have been even more twisted if she had actually died at that point too. But still, again, a testament to Clarke's strength and just her determination to not give in to what A.L.I.E's trying to do, and how that overrides, how she cares for her mother, really, I guess. And I'll admit, in a way, part of me did want Abby to die, because she's been a frustrating character plenty of times, but I do care about her to an extent because Clarke does, of course. And again, I just love the scene because seeing the inner strength of Clarke come through, I thought was awesome. Of course, Kane, like I say, chases after the others trying to save Bellamy and stuff, still under the influence himself, but he ends up getting knocked out, and when they're basically having this explosive go off, Endra sees Kane's just now getting up, and she actually saves him and tackles him out of the way. So I like that. I like that they actually realize they want to keep Kane, and they want to keep Kane alive. So I like that. And then we have a lot of chaos go down at the end. We have Bellamy and Murphy come in with Pike. And then we have Jaha. He basically ends up hitting Antari in the head fatally. And she's bleeding out. And then we also had Murphy cut Abby down. She's still alive, apparently. Again, that could have gone either way if she could have lived that long or not. But... and they basically try to revive Antari, but then Clarke realizes she's brain dead, so they can't really get it out of her now. And that's where it leaves off, and to be continued just, gets hit on the screen. So that's it for the episode. It's really definitely part one to what's going to be an amazing finale next week. Wow. So overall, really good episode that makes me eager as hell to see how it's going to end next week. It looks like, based on the promos, Clarke's actually going to go into the city of A.L.I.E, which should be really intense. And of course, all the others defending in reality and stuff. And it should be an awesome episode, man. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on the episode. If there's anything I missed, which I'm sure there was, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to talk about it more with you guys. Can't believe there's only one episode left for this season. It's been an amazing one, in my opinion. I may do a video at some point this summer talking about my favorite season of the 100 so far, maybe. But we'll see. But yeah, looking forward to the episode next week for sure. My review of the Vampire Diaries finale and the episode of the original tonight will be delayed since I am working. But I might, depending on when the episode goes on demand, I might watch the Vampire Diaries very late tonight and get my review out. Otherwise, both reviews of that and the originals will probably be out within the next day or two at least. Apologize for lateness, but you guys know how it goes. Anyway, really good episode of the 100. Can't wait for the finale next week. Pretty unpredictable stuff. Looking forward to it. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Look for InspirationDead.com. Peace.